How's it going, everyone? Matt here from The Unconventional Gentleman, and today I'm going to be giving my review on Battlefield 5. So we're going to be structuring it a little bit like this. We're going to do cons first, and then pros, and then I'm going to give my rating, and then I'm going to go into a little personal rant. So let's start off with the cons. First off, if you bought this game and you looked around in the menu, the first thing you probably noticed is that despite the game being delayed by over a month, I think it was over a month, the game was incomplete at launch. It was missing a war story, and it was missing some game modes, but those were all patched and those were fixed later, so we can move on from that. Now, if you're like me, I like to play the campaign first just to get a feel of the game, see how things work, and get a little bit of story. But this campaign I noticed was pretty half-baked and forgettable, and it seemed rushed. All of the stories, well, specifically like the first story, for instance. This guy's in a prison, and this military man comes, talks to him, and he's like,
Are you Billy Bridger? I've got a little deal for you. I'm putting together a unit. You're gonna fucking love it. It's right up your street, your sort of thing.
What sort of unit?
Tell me, Bridger, do you like the seaside?
and then he's just there. I didn't cut any of that. That's just how the game is. So it's a little confusing, and it's a little hard to follow, and that pretty much describes the rest of the game as far as the campaign goes, because it's just a lot of, like, that's it? Okay. Also, the campaign levels are mostly pretty stealth-based. Typically, if you're walking around, you're not in a whole lot of over-the-top, bullets flying everywhere combat. A lot of the time it is sneaking around, and that's what a lot of the objectives focus on, too. So it's a little off-putting because I don't really want to sneak around the whole time. So it's just frustrating. And well, one of the driving forces behind completing these objectives is you get these special items. For 3 of the war stories, that's a melee weapon, a unique melee weapon. For the last Tiger, it's a skin for the Tiger tank in multiplayer. But either way, it's a little bit frustrating when you're playing the game to constantly have to just slow down, take it easy, and sneak through an area. And you don't have to sneak through an area. And on the second war story, there's this part where in the first mission you're sneaking into a Nazi base. Okay, well, in that situation it makes sense, because if you do choose to engage, then you need to either camp really well or be really good just using the weapons that you have, especially in a higher difficulty. But then there are times like the second mission where you're sneaking through this frozen wilderness, right? And it's really cold, and there are just a bunch of Nazis chilling near some campfires. Okay, I guess that's fine. And then in like the first mission where you're these 2 guys, or the first war story where you're these 2 guys and you're just sort of like sneaking around doing all this shit. Okay, first one's rushed, second one doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Terror Lore made a little bit more sense, but it was still stealth-based, so it's just frustrating. But if you're anything like me, then you don't really buy a fucking Battlefield game for the campaign anyway. You focus on the multiplayer. So let's jump into multiplayer. Alright, the first thing about multiplayer is it's kind of buggy. And it has a lot of small bugs that add up to a larger frustration. It's getting better, but it's some of the things it's like not understandable. We used to have bugs like, I don't know if this is still a problem, but we used to have bugs like the bombs wouldn't spawn when you're trying to take an objective in grand operations, or the enemy would run out of attacking tickets in a grand operation and they would just keep coming. Okay, fuck me, I guess. You might have a bug that prevents you from planting the explosive. Okay, fine. Or it takes a little bit longer because it keeps glitching back a little bit. Okay, that'd be understandable. But when you have glitches where the bomb won't even spawn, that's a problem. That's a game-breaking problem. And I hope they fix it. I haven't really played Grand Operations since they've done a few updates. I've been sticking to Conquest and Tides of War. But, So certain encounters in multiplayer can seem pretty unfair. And I mean that by, say you have an LMG and a rifle. I shoot the guy 3 times in the chest. Someone else with the rifle from the assault class shoots me like twice. I die. And it gets frustrating. Like, you would think when you shoot someone 3 or 4 times with an LMG, that the bullets would have some sort of impact. And I've brought this up before. I brought it up on our first podcast, that I would love for Battlefield to adopt some sort of body damage type thing like Call of Duty did with their like specialist difficulty, I don't know, but in Infinite Warfare. I thought that was really cool, and I would love to see Battlefield do that because it would really bring in the medic. It would make bullets matter other than the kill shot. Because as it does now, you shoot someone, who cares? It doesn't really have an effect on them other than suppressing. And you don't have to make it the whole game. Just make it a game mode. I think that would be really fun, and especially in addition to some of the more hardcore game modes that they're adding now, like Conquest Core. So, as a result from all this stuff, the realism suffers. And I understand that you have to buff a game a little bit. You can't say, well, there's this one gun that just ends all, because then it wouldn't be fun to play as a game. But there are certain aspects of the game that aren't there that don't make any sense. For instance, the Molotov cocktail, or whatever they call it, incendiary grenade. Incendiary grenades, Molotov cocktails, were used to combat tanks. I'm no history buff, but it makes sense. The tanks the tanks had fuel tanks. You take your fucking blasty boy fucking on fire, throw it, and if you hit in a good spot, then it catches the fuel on fire, it heats up the fuel, it incapacitates the tank. In this game, I understand, you don't want to make the Molotov cocktail a fucking one-hit kill weapon, but at the same time, they don't do any damage to tanks anymore. Other things are like, I can't hold up these MMGs, you can't hold them up to your shoulder unless they're mounted. Well, that's fine and all, and I get it, but it's sort of an example of what I've been talking about before, where a game tries so hard to be realistic, or I guess in this case just wants to balance. Because I said this when the game was coming out. I'd say, I used to be a fan of that mechanic because I thought, well, I'd really hate for a game like Battlefield to sacrifice this gun, or to, nerf this gun down to a point where it's not the MG42, because in real life the MG42 was a beast and everyone knew that. So I thought that's a good buff, so that way people can't just run around spraying it all the time. But now that I play it more, it just seems like kind of bullshit, especially with apparently the VGO. I haven't played with it yet, but apparently that gun's like this big and you can't hold it up to your shoulder. So you come across a lot of times where you'll be 20 feet from someone and you can't mount your gun because you're running, so you just wind up spraying and you'll hit around them with like 20 bullets and hit them twice and then they kill you. Why is it that... Well, I know why it is, but it's still frustrating, and that's sort of an issue with the game. Furthermore, there are other things like tank rounds going off right... I'm in a tank, shoot the main cannon, blows up 2 feet from someone, doesn't kill them, hardly even hurts them. And then we have throwing knives, which I'll get into later. But all in all, the game just sort of feels like it's not super realistic, and it's lacking in the areas where it matters. I'm not asking for a medic to have to come up and spend 10 minutes patching someone up on the ground. That's not what I want. But when I shoot someone in the fucking face 3 times with an LMG, I want them to die. I want them to feel it. And a lot of times, because the the semi-automatic rifles in the assault class are so fucking overpowered, or they're so good rather, that the other classes lack, just because with the assault class, you can rattle off 3 rounds and kill someone before they even have a chance to react. And that would be okay if you were getting the drop on someone, but why is it that I sometimes get the drop on someone, have an LMG, shoot them 4 times in the body, and then they look at me and kill me? That doesn't make sense. That's one of those things that just kind of kills the game for me. That it seems unfair. If I shoot someone 4 times, they should die. That's not a foreign concept. And it's not that strange. But for some reason, Battlefield feels the need to nerf these guns because their presence, I guess. It's like the FG42. Shoot someone 5 times. Will they die? Maybe. But they shoot me 2 or 3 times with a rifle and I die. It's shit like that pisses me off, okay? Because more than anything, I want a game to be fair. I want a game, whether it's easy or difficult, is not the main factor. I want it to be fair. I'm running along, someone, sprays their MG42, hits me in the head, I die, that's fine. I understand, but I expect it to happen in turn. When I shoot someone in the fucking face from 2 feet away with my pistol, they should die. This leads into my next point of I wish the game had more items to manage. Think back to Battlefield 3. I didn't really play Battlefield 4, but maybe Battlefield 4 also. You had different things to manage. You could put a laser sight on your gun, and that would increase your accuracy. But if you were a distance away and you aimed at someone, they would see that laser. Same thing with a flashlight, where it would blind someone if you were close, but if you forgot to turn it off, then you're just giving away your position to everyone on the map. This game doesn't have that, and I don't expect a laser sight, but I would expect maybe a flashlight, or maybe different types of helmets or different types of armor that have different effects, sort of like Rainbow Six Siege. I just want there to be more to think about than just the guns. Than just let me shoot this person. Because to you, it's sort of irrelevant everything else, but if you introduce armor, you say, well, do I prefer to take it heavy armor slowly? Or would I want to strip my guy of a lot of the stuff that he has, a lot of his protection, that way I can move faster and I can get around people. It's elements like these that are absent from the game that I think would really benefit the game overall, because then there would be different strategies and different things like that. Right now, it just seems like, yeah, there's a bunch of guys running into an objective, a bunch of guys and women running into an objective. Like, okay, there's not a whole lot to think about. That's just something that I would like to see, even if in a game mode. You know what I mean? Just put it in game mode, put the body damage thing, give us choice of armor, and see what happens. I think that's something that Battlefield players, me specifically, would really enjoy and would really love to see. So moving on to the pros of the game. First of all, we're going to stick to the campaign. There are unique rewards for completion. And by completion, I mean collecting all the collectibles and completing all of the special tasks, whatever, many of which focus on stealth. So that's something. And they tell stories of little-known parts of the war. So in pretty much every World War II game, you get sort of the same thing. You get a D-Day scenario, and, you get the end of the war where you're storming whatever. But this game tells the story of small units, of criminals who were recruited to do certain tasks, of rebels in Iceland, I think it was Iceland, that were fighting for their freedom in Nazi-occupied territory. And a squad of what I believe was African French men. I don't really remember because, like I said, the campaign was pretty forgettable and I didn't pay that much attention to any of it. But it told the stories of these things that you never really hear about. And I respect that. And the rewards you get for completing all of the special assignments and tasks and things like that, I'm pretty sure at least you can't buy. So it's kind of unique when you come across something and you say, oh, well, that person must have done this and that to get that unique melee weapon or whatever. Now on to the multiplayer. One of the pros that I got from multiplayer is that the time to kill was shorter. After the beta period ended for the Battlefield 5 beta, I went back to playing Battlefield 1 because I was so excited about Battlefield 5. But when I got back to Battlefield 1, I noticed that it fucking took forever to kill someone. So this sort of goes back to what I was talking about how something being unfair. And in terms of time to kill, I really like the shorter time to kill. I feel like it's more fair, more appropriate, and it doesn't just benefit the person with the biggest gun. So I know some people, well, a lot of people, weren't fans of the shorter time to kill, but I certainly am, and I'm very happy that they decided to go with those core modes. Like I said, Conquest Core features a shorter time to kill. I love that because, like I said, I want it to be fair, and I think that a shorter time to kill will benefit the person who is more accurate and who stays stable the longest and who plays to their strengths. Another big pro that I really love about this game is how squad-focused things are, especially when you're playing with friends. Because in the last game, Battlefield 1, it didn't really matter if you followed squad objectives or not. The squad score didn't matter at all, really. I mean, unless you were really caught up with getting top squad. But in this game, you actually get rewards. Your squad leader can call in supplies or armored cars or vehicles or currently the highest reinforcement, I guess, would be a rocket that is devastating if used properly. Also, you get to revive, regardless of your class, you get to revive your squad mate. So it sort of gives you a greater feeling of tightness. It would say, I need to stick with my squad because if I die, then it doesn't matter if there's a medic around, my buddy can still get me up. I think that was a great addition. One thing that's sort of a con, though, is that there is no ally dragging. You can't pull them out from the middle of a fucking street into cover, which I'm hoping that they'll add, because it's one of those things that just takes you out of the moment, because you say, well, I wish I could deploy some smoke, run over there, grab them, drag them into cover, and then pick them up. But no, instead I've just got to put up a thin little smoke screen and hope I don't get sprayed to death. Also featured in this game is less spotting. So as you know, if you play Battlefield 1 or maybe some previous games, when you spot someone, it just marks them on the map. I'm pretty sure this was called 3D spotting. It marks them on the map for everyone to see, and you know exactly where they are for like a few seconds. This game almost completely eliminates that. The only way you can do that is if you have a special equipment or traits. One of the classes has a special trait where if you damage an enemy, it will mark them. You also have a spotting scope. But for the most part, other classes can just say, mark a danger area, I think it's called. So they point in that direction, and you drop a marker, and you say, there are enemies there. Whether there are enemies there or not. Same principle, I think, with a tank or with aircraft. You can just sort of point to an area, and it doesn't track it on the map. And I love that because it helps with, sometimes in Battlefield, you need to hide. And I guess some people might call it camping, whatever. But sometimes you just need to hide and wait for reinforcements to come and try to hold your own, especially in objective areas. Or if you're a sniper, you want to be hidden. You want to be way off and hide and peek up when you need to. So it takes you out when you know the other team can just say, hey, look, there's a sniper, and it tracks your every movement. So I'm very happy with the reduction in the spotting and just sort of marking a general area. I think that was a great addition to the game, or subtraction, however you look at it. Another one of the pros to this game, which we're sort of getting into the purgatory area between pros and cons, depending on how you look at it, but weapons and vehicles have specialization trees now. With the weapons, it's not really as noticeable just because they're mainly stat manipulations. Say your gun recoils less upwards or less to the side, or it gives you a bigger magazine or something like that. But with the tanks or with vehicles, they're pretty noticeable. With tanks, you can get specialized rounds, you get additional armor, you can get some type of alloy that prevents explosives from sticking to you. And in planes, you can get bigger bombs, heavier machine guns, a radar package, things like that. And it helps people play to their strengths, I think. If you're in a bomber, but you prefer acting more like a flying fortress than a bomber, you can specialize in giving yourself a heavier machine gun and your passengers heavier machine guns to help defend against planes. Whereas if you prefer the bomber role, you can focus on getting heavier bombs, 1,000-kilogram bombs, quicker reload time, things like that. Also, if you know anything about Battlefield 5, one of the biggest things they introduced was building fortifications. Now, building fortifications, I can understand how some people would love it, some people hate it. Personally, I really like it. It gives me the feeling of, we have this area now we have to build it up to defend it and to help defend it. And you can build, I forgot what they're called, I think they're called hedgerows, but don't quote me on that. Anti-tank emplacements. You can build weapons if you're support class. You can build stationary weapons. Put up sandbags, barbed wire, all these different things to help impede the enemy to give you a better chance of defending what you're trying to defend. On the negative side, though, while you're building it, it sort of puts up this translucent hologram of what you're building so you can see. But there have been more than a few times where I'm building it, and then someone walks around, or someone that I can't even see because there's this big obstruction in my way, kills me while I'm trying to build the barricade. So it's a little frustrating that it's so much in your face when you're trying to build. I wish it was a little bit more transparent so I could fucking see if someone's about to kill me. Also, you kind of come into a lot of issues where maybe teammates are trying to get in or someone's aiming with a sniper rifle. I'm building it, and as soon as I build it, it materializes, and then they shoot and it hits the barricade. So you get into some situations where you're trying to shoot from somewhere, but a teammate builds something right in front of you. Same principle going the other way if you're trying to shoot at someone. Got them zeroed in, you're about to fire, and you fire, and then the barricade materializes, and you hit the barricade. So I understand why some people are upset about it, but overall, I think it's a great addition, and I love it. The last thing I want to mention in my review portion of this video is that there are no behemoths. And again, it depends. Do you like that or do you not? I don't know. I personally haven't really noticed. I've never been in a situation where I'm thinking, boy, I sure wish I had a behemoth. So overall, I don't really notice their absence. I do, however, wish that maybe the team, if the team that's getting run over, maybe they should have some type of buff to help them get back in the game. And I'm going to go on into this in my rant. I'm going to tag this on my cons real quick. I've noticed this happen a couple different times where even though my team is running over the enemy team, say we're in Conquest, we have like 350 points. The enemy team only has 100. Okay, so we're dominating 100%. We keep taking all the objectives. We're good. But I still don't have a very good time. And I'm not exactly sure why. It might be because typically when I'm not having a good time, I'm not playing with my friends. But I feel like there's something missing from the game. Too often, I think, I get in games where either my team dominates or my team gets run over. I hope that in the future they implement a better system of keeping things interesting, because the game's just not interesting and not fun when you have that much of a lead. There's no stress. There's no point to pushing on. Either way, if you're winning, the enemy team has 100 points. You have 350. Okay, just play relaxed. You'll win. Other way around, you have 100 points. The other team has 350. What's the point? You're going to lose. Doesn't matter how well you play, unless you have the entire team in a party. So I would hope in the future that they implement some either better matchmaking mechanics or implement something where if a team's getting run over, they get some sort of bonus or some sort of boost to put them back in the fight. Just because it's not fun if you're dominating or getting run over. One way or the other, it's just boring. Overall, I'd rate this game about an 8 out of 10. I think of it more as a hardcore version of Battlefield 1 with an emphasis on team play than anything else. And there are some interesting additions like fortification, like the skills tree, that make things a little more interesting, but I would hope that in future updates they at least introduce some game modes that make things more interesting and more involved. Okay, now that the formalities are over, let's get to the rant. Now, before I kick off on this, I just wanted to be made clear that the 8 out of 10 was genuine. I do enjoy this game a whole lot, but there are just so many small issues with it that it's hard to focus on the good when you've got these constant thorns in your side. So without further ado, let's get angry. Alright, so first of all, let me just mention something that I noticed right away that fucking pissed me off. There are throwing knives in the game. If that tells you anything about it, there are throwing knives in this fucking game. And yes, they are one-hit kill weapons. Alright, so why did this piss me off so much? Well, it didn't really, until I came across a sniper. Okay, well, before I go on, they are, thank God, only in the sniper class, only in the recon class. So there was this one time I was walking, sniper came over a wall. Oh my. So I pulled my pistol, shot him twice. You would think that would do it, right? Ha. You'd be wrong. Guy pulls out a throwing knives me. I was at max health. He killed me with one hit. Does that seem fair to you? Does that seem like something that should happen in a Battlefield game? I'd expect that shit in Call of Duty. That's fine. That's what they do. Call of Duty is like your fucking pissed drunk, lazy uncle who won't change his ways, so you've pretty much just given up on him. Battlefield 5, at its current state, is like your friend who's always made A's and B's in school. He's involved in extracurriculars. He's athletic. He's great. But then all of a sudden, his girlfriend dumps him or whatever and gets fucking sad, and he just doesn't do anything. Grades start dropping. He's a piece of shit. What the fuck? I know you can do better. I've seen it with my fucking eyeballs. I've touched it with my hands. Not your friend. Well, maybe your friend. But either way, what the fuck? There is no place in a Battlefield game for a one-hit kill weapon. Not like that. A fucking tank round hits you in the chest? Fine. One-hit kill. Fucking blasted. I don't care. A throwing knife? See, this is what pisses me off. The first part of this video, when I was being unbiased, or as unbiased as I could. Fairness, okay? And some hint of realism. I fucking blast someone 3 fucking times with a pistol in the chest and fucking noggin. And you throwing knife me in the leg and it kills me instantly. Where does that fucking make sense? Why is that in a Battlefield game? I don't understand. But you know what? They're only in the recon class. So I don't come across them that much. I've maybe been throwing knife twice. And I've throwing knife killed someone one time. And yes, I've felt very dirty. Alright, so we have throwing knives in the recon class. That's fucking great. Overall, recon class, not that bad. Actually, kind of shit. Because, as we're leading into, there's sort of an assault class bias. So let me draw a fucking picture for you here real quick, okay? Say you're a sniper. You have a fucking sniper rifle. You aim, you shoot, you hit someone in the chest. What do you think happens? You think they die? No, they don't. Here's my problem with the assault class. Let me just get this out right fucking now. The assault class basically has fucking sniper rifles. Because you put a 3 fucking X zoom scope on it, what the fuck ever. Put a 3 times zoom scope on it. Alright? You aim, you can rattle off 3 or 4 shots in the time it takes a sniper to shoot 1. Why is that a problem? Oh, because you can pretty much hit someone anywhere with an assault rifle 3 or 4 times and kill them. With a sniper rifle, it has to be a headshot. Why is that? Is it to balance the game? This is the rift that this game creates and other games create because they think, oh, it's a sniper rifle. It's this, bigger weapon. It needs to not kill someone in one hit. Well, god damn it. When I shoot someone in the fucking heart with the sniper rifle, don't you think that would have some sort of a fucking effect? Other than just like, oh, I'm now bleeding to death. This pisses me off so much because, like I said, assault class bias. Let me get into it a little bit. Okay, so this fucking assault class pretty much outdoes everything. Because you have a plethora of single shot. What the fuck are they called? Jesus Christ, I'm fucking losing my mind. Semi-automatic rifles. Bang, 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 you fucking kill someone. It's hard to compete with that. Unless you get the drop on someone with an assault class, you're fucked. And that would, the assault class, I don't think, is overpowered. I think the other classes are underpowered. Because like I said earlier, why is it I shoot someone in the chest 3 fucking times with a fucking LMG, and they don't care? But I shoot someone in the chest 3 times with an assault rifle and they die. This is my problem with games in general. I don't care if it's hard or easy. It needs to be fair. And I think you can incorporate a little bit more realism in it to make it more fucking fair, but also feel right. Because when I shoot someone in a fucking noggin, I expect them to die. Okay? So let's move on to the support class. Support class, okay, yeah. My main issue with the support class is that mainly what I've already talked about. That it gets trumped by the assault class all the goddamn time. And also, you're so pushed to go with the assault class because it's the only class with any good anti-tank weapons. The fucking support class, I mean, other than mines, there are a few different, I'm pretty sure all the classes get some sort of mine, some sort of anti-tank mine. But if you're like me, I fucking hate that shit. I don't want to just place the mine down and hope someone runs over it. I want to be proactive. If a fucking tank is coming at me, I want to be able to shoot it, not just fucking, here's a dinner plate. So you've got the most powerful weapons in the game, you've got the best anti-tank weapons, and almost the only anti-tank weapons. So why wouldn't you play assault? Meanwhile, I'm trying to play support, right? Alright, let's go to the MMGs. The LMGs, okay, you play you. Also, the support class has shotguns for some fucking reason, and the assault class doesn't. Whatever. That's a discussion for another day. Main problem with MMGs. I brought this up before, how you can't aim down the fucking sight unless it's mounted. Alright, that would be okay. That would, that'd be a decent buff. At least semi-decent. But the problem is, the fucking mounting system is piss all sometimes. Because, say this, alright, there's a pillar here. Even if my team's winning, say, alright, I'm thinking about, there's a certain fucking spot on Rotterdam, okay? We're at D. My whole team's, they're rushing B. Oh man, we got a fucking tank column moving up the side. We got fucking infantry charging across the port. It's great. Meanwhile, I'm back here by the fucking, this pillar that fell down, or whatever. I'm trying to mount my fucking MMG, my fucking MG42, so I can get some bullets on there to help suppress, and it be fun and cool and awesome. But instead, I'm left fumbling with my goddamn weapon, trying to mount it on this fucking thing, and it just won't happen. And then I can't fucking do anything, because the best I can do is give myself a fucking reticle this big when I'm 50 yards away, trying to fucking shoot someone. No! It's fucking bullshit. And, oh... Let's take a break for a second. Let's take a step back to the support class, all right? And just bugs in the game in general. I had this fucking one great ass experience where I was on the second floor of a fucking building, and for some reason, I kept trying to drop ammo crates because me and this other guy were up there. Boy, we gotta hold out till the other guys come, right? And save us, right? My fucking ammo crate keep falling through the goddamn floor. Why? Why is this an issue? Why is it that when I go up to the second floor of a fucking half-destroyed building, I'm humping the fucking ground? What do I do with that? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. There's these small fucking issues that are just so ridiculous and so frustrating. Because I can't aim my fucking gun while I'm... Okay? Why is it that when I'm in a fucking tank, okay, I shoot right next to someone with a shell, with an explosive shell from the tank, and they don't give a fuck? Why is it that I fucking have a heavy machine gun on my fucking tank? I shoot someone, okay? Boom. I don't fucking care. You have to hit him like 4 times. Why is it that when I'm dive bombing someone with a fucking Stuka or with a what the fuck ever, I hit someone, they don't die? It's a fucking plane mounted weapon. An AA turret with these fucking shells. I hit someone in the noggin. 11 damage? Oh, on top of that, boy, nice tank. Weighs like 10 tons, right? Can't go through a fucking building. It gets stuck on a light pole. A light pole. Why? First of all, the house thing is annoying because they advertise that you could drive through a fucking house in that goddamn over-the-top fucking commercial they put out. That was the one thing I noticed. I was like, man, if you could drive through a house, that'd be so cool. Nope, there's still this indestructible middle spire in the fucking house that is apparently made out of fucking adamantium or something, or like vibranium, because it does not care. You can drop a fucking nuke on that bitch, and it will not blow up. How do you combat this? Why don't you fucking give people more defenses to build that are anti-tank? This is not a hard problem to solve. Fucking... Oh, you're worried that someone would drive through all the houses, right, and break everything down. Well, I mean, give the enemy team, give the other team more defenses to build so that doesn't happen. But no. Instead, we're just going to stick to these indestructible spires and fucking light poles in place of fixing the problem. And then, like I said, there's just these various fucking bugs. Like, my ammo falling through, humping the ground. Fucking, there's still this glitch where sometimes I'll revive a teammate, and they fucking pick them up. What they fucking do? And now I have their gun. No! I did not press X to pick up their gun. I fucking revived them. It took 1,000 years and I fucking picked them up. I'm about to die because someone's already shooting me. And now I have a shotgun in place of whatever the fuck I was using. And then there are other things like the bomb not spawning in fucking grand operations. It's already hard enough to attack. Why the fuck can't you give me my bomb? Why is it that whenever I try to throw a fucking grenade, it has to bounce off the nearest surface? Look at this shit. Look at that. What the fuck? Oh, and it still has this fucking issue where mount a weapon, good for you. You're going to shoot the ground right in front of you. Oh my god. It's things like that that break the goddamn game. It's things like that that make me not want to play it because there's so many good things about it. It's so cool. But then they fuck it up. Why, of all things, of all the things that are going on in the game, would you nerf the bomber? Why is it that now it... Because at least before, yeah, it was a bomber. You have 32 50-kilo bombs. 250 kilos and like I think 2,000 kilograms. Now you only hold 1,000 kilogram and 4 fucking 250-pound bombs. What kind of fucking bomber is that? I mean, and on top of that, it takes 1,000 fucking years to reload. Drop your bombs, right? Go over. You're out of bombs. Go over to the ammo station. I flew the entire length of the map before my fucking bombs reloaded. What the fuck? Why would I be a bomber at all? That is such a stupid fucking buff. Why would you make a bomber less of a bomber? That's the whole point of it being a bomber, to drop fucking bombs. I'm gonna shit my pants. Don't get me wrong, like I really like this game. It's a whole lot of fun. But this is the shit that pisses me off. I can't walk 2 feet without some bullshit happening. I'll build a wall, right? It's fucking huge, alright? Build a wall. But if something's in the way, like a teammate or something, it'll just appear red until they move and then it'll materialize, right? Okay, there's nothing there. And I built this wall, and then someone comes through and fucking kills me because it's just standing there red. No, someone's fucking in the way. Ugh. There's just so many things that piss me the fuck off that don't make any sense. Why? Why did these things happen? Why can I not throw my fucking sticky grenade without it fucking magnetically sticking to the nearest fucking surface? Why can I not drive a fucking tank and kill someone without hitting them directly with the fucking tank shell? And you give the fucking assault class sniper rifles, basically, and tell everyone else to suck a dick. So, and there's, I only play assault and support. Why? Because I come across tanks so fucking often and I don't have anything to fight them with if I'm medic or fucking sniper. Listen, when I shoot someone in the head, I expect them to die. When I hit someone with an explosive fucking 2 feet from them, I expect them to die. But so help me God, I fucking have a tank. It's got a heat shell, fucking high explosive. Fucking hit them. Nothing. But goddamn, someone fucking goes along with a fucking bundle of dynamite, which is still a fucking thing. Boom, I'm fucking dead from like 10 fucking meters away. What the fuck? This is why I'm recording this shit in my fucking underwear. I didn't even bother to put pants on to do this fucking review. I've already had like 4 cups of coffee. My heart can't take it anymore, Battlefield. Please. I am so fucking thankful though for their new game mode. The Conquest Core, oh, it's like a breath of fresh air. I can't wait to get shot in the head, but also shoot people in the head and they fucking die. Oh man, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I've got. My fucking... Battlefield, I just want you to go back to making A's and B's again. That's what I want. I want you to get back. I want you to join your extracurriculars again. Stop being bad. Stop not listening. I'm about one goddamn fucking tiger tank getting stuck on a fucking light pole away from shitting myself in this very chair. Because every time it happens, every time I fucking stuck on some bullshit, it makes me want to not play the fucking game. Because what am I supposed to do? All this shit is like limp. And yeah, there are updates coming and they're free DLC. Free DLC, that's so nice. But there are some things that DLC just can't fix. Please fix these issues before. Because, or at least give me more core mode. Dude, just give me hardcore shit. I will be happy. Okay? But the way the base game's functioning now almost makes it seems like it wants to be Call of Duty. Isn't that awful? Fucking throwing knives, overpowered assault rifles, and then fucking bipods that hardly do anything because I'm trying to shoot at someone and I'm still fucking... Can't fucking aim for shit. Alright, well, I think that's pretty much all I've got to talk about. Goddamn, I've got to go fucking change my underwear now. So thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, leave, say something. Give us something to talk about. If you like this, you want to see me do more reviews, let me know. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter if you want to become part of the family and keep up with all the latest unconventional gentleman news. Thank you all so much for watching. We love you. Battlefield's pissing me off. And we will see you all next time.